Hey there, I'm Adam and welcome to Local Bytes. Today we've got a quick bit on factory resetting your LocalDeck. Now there's plenty of reasons you may want to do this. Maybe you want to start afresh, or you're handing it over to a friend. Either way, a factory reset is a great way to start on a clean slate. First things first, you're going to need some firmware. You can compile this yourself using the configuration. However, for ease, we've provided a few pre-compiled binaries. Let's head on over to the LocalDeck configuration repository on GitHub. From there, we can go to releases and then find the latest release that has a .bin or .bin.gz file attached to it. Next, it's important to download the right file. If you're factory resetting using a USB cable, you're going to want the factory.bin. For us, the latest version is 0.7. However, there may be a later version available. It's important to note in the future, we may provide a .factory.bin.gz. If that's the case, don't worry, you don't need to unzip it first. Now it's time to get that firmware onto the LocalDeck. So let's head to web.esphome.io, plug in our LocalDeck and click the connect button. You're going to see a list of devices appear in your browser. In our case, we're looking for a device that identifies as a USB JTAG/serial device. Once you're connected, you can click install and select the firmware you downloaded earlier. ESP-Home is now going to erase and upload the new firmware to the device. You'll know it's worked when the LocalDeck displays its rainbow animation. This is its boot indication that you may be used to seeing. The tooling used in this process should automatically bring the ESP32 into boot mode. However, on occasion this can go wrong. As such, there's a small pinhole reset button on the rear of the device. It's important to note, this on its own will not reset the device, however will force it into bootloader mode, which will allow you to upload the firmware. This shouldn't be necessary, but if ESP-Home is struggling to connect, that would be your next step. You'll want to unplug the LocalDeck, press down on the button, and then plug the LocalDeck back in. Once the firmware is uploaded, we can go ahead and set up the Wi-Fi. First things first, we're going to want to power cycle the device by unplugging it and plugging it back in. You'll see the boot animation once more. You can then reconnect your LocalDeck to the ESP-Home web dashboard, click on the three dots, and then configure Wi-Fi. This will allow you to reconfigure the Wi-Fi right from your desk, rather than having to go into Home Assistant and wait for it to be discovered. In just a few seconds, the deck should connect to Wi-Fi. We can confirm this by clicking the View Device button that will be presented. Upon pressing this button, you'll be taken to the device's webpage. This will show you the status of all of the buttons and the LEDs on the LocalDeck. And that's it. You've successfully reflashed our factory firmware onto the LocalDeck. You should now be good to set it up as if it was brand new. If you run into any issues, feel free to leave us a comment or come onto the forum and we'll be happy to help. Until next time, I'm Adam and this has been Quick Bits for Local Bytes.